Mori ore te whānau, no mai hoki mai. Welcome back to the Practice Run, your frontline pass in the heart of sports section. Brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. With your host, Rawiri, Tukoirangi, and sometimes the brother Vincent, we're diving deep into the thrilling world of the NRL and Rugby League today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we've got you covered.
So strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit-up, the Practice Run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the Practice Run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory.
The Practice Squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play every episode, every day. We'd also like to thank 99 Dreams for powering our passion. Now let's kick things off with today's lineup.
All right, Fano, we got a pretty chill one today. We're just going to dive into this weekend's footy action. It is the Magic Round, so everybody's playing at our home stadium. The grounds are normally pretty shit by Sunday, especially if it's been raining a little. So you're best to get your games on the Friday night. Which, another thing, it's Thursday and there's no footy tonight, it's throwing me off a little bit, man. You know, I'm used to, we wrap things up here, edit this, get this put out, and then we sit down, wait for the evening and watch some good footy, but nothing on tonight. I don't actually know what I'm going to do with my night. It's sad. It's sad. You know, I live for Thursday night footy.
We've been getting some good run the games as well, eh? Like Thursday night's been probably some of the better league we've seen all year. So yeah, it's definitely weird not having it, but I'm looking forward to getting a bit early for once. Eh? Hopefully be more energized for the Friday and the weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty true. That's pretty true. Maybe my boss won't be so mad when I rock up not so tired on Friday morning this week. Although with Origin around the corner, I need all the practice I can get at staying up because it's going to be hectic trying to stay up for that bloody Origin game. They're always way too late. Come on, fine. I know you want to watch a 5:30 game.
Right.
Or why is it even on a Wednesday?
That's one thing, I've thought about for years, like, why Wednesday? The randomness, it's just, come on, bro. Like, really? Wednesday?
Even like some of the commentators and stuff wanted it changed. They wanted it to have like an international weekend. So like have, Samoa, Tonga play, the Kiwis try and get in some action there and then have State of Origin. I mean, that would have made more sense to me. You can have some test matches in the middle of the year, similar to how like the All Blacks have. They have that Steinlager test in the middle of the season.
Yeah. I mean, it does make sense, right? And maybe, I don't get why they don't have like that sort of period. Like, just take 3 weeks out of the competition, well, not out of the competition, but 3 weeks break for a quick international season where you can have all 3 New South Wales games and then just have the Pacific Island teams and the Kiwis play out like a mini, tournament. Like, surely you'd get more eyes onto that way. If England want to come over, they can come over too if they want. Obviously spearheaded by the 3 games, State of O games, but then you get it done, maybe you have another week off and then back into it.
Yeah, like it makes so much sense. All the teams might be able to have their buys all at once but I guess they need to have 18 teams in the comp instead of the 17 that we've got because there's always going to be one missing. But hey, something for them to look at. But before we get into any more mahi, man, let's start the show how we always do. With a little bit of paper, scissors, rock. Come on, Fano. If you don't know, if this is your first time listening, every episode we started off with a little bit of paper, scissors, rock. 2 did break the streak, and then I came back and won it back in the last episode. It works exactly how you play paper, scissors, rock. It just goes 1, 2, 3, shoot. You go paper, scissors, or a rock. Paper beats rock. Rock beats scissors. Scissors beats paper. Now, are you ready, my G?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it. 3, 2, 1, shoot. And up.
Yes!
He got it.
I felt this one. I was like, nah, I'm feeling this one. I called that Called that paper nice and early.
Look at the finger. It was ready to go scissors, but I held staunch to the rock and I just left it.
Oh,
It was,
yes.
in my head, I was like, scissors, and then we pulled a rock, and I was like, well, that's it, with the half finger. That's how you know, Fano. We don't cheat here. If you're in a half movement and you got to
Yeah, if you get caught in one edge,
you just got to try and pull up a resemblance of one. I feel like if I did come down like this and then like at the end pull it up and you had paper, I'd probably go, oh, nah, gee, my original was rock, but my like fingers got stuck. So I would have just, integrity. Got to have integrity in your plays, man. Otherwise, no one want to play with you. Well, hey, might as well check in. How was the week? What'd you get up to?
He's been a little bit slow. It's all good. Got the working at BFT in the afternoons, keeping me busy there. Shooting off to Wellington tomorrow for the nephew's 21st, so I'll be there for a couple of days. So I'll be doing the previews for these games, but I actually don't think I'll have time to watch any of them. Maybe I'll probably end up watching the Bulldogs game. They might be the only game I watch, just the Friday ones. But from Saturday, probably be out of commission. But it'll be good to catch up with the sis down there and then the nephews and see all the aunties and uncles and the cousins. Yeah, so should be good to go, man. What about you? What you got? How's your week been?
Yeah, no, it was good, man. What was it? The other day, Tuesday, had darts again. We've had a 2-week break because the venue we go to was getting carpet reinstalled there, so it's been closed down for the past couple of weeks. So went back and your boy went 8 for 8. Yeah. Managed to stay mentally strong this time. Normally, if I get down in a leg, I just fuck it, all good. Start just chucking left-handed if I want. I'll do some like alley-oop style throws, man. I'll make you think you're not good enough to beat me. I'm just playing shit. It's my tactic if I'm not gonna win. But no, this week I managed to stay in the game every game. I lost the first leg for a couple of the games, but managed to come back and win 2 straight. So that was good. Just knowing that I'm able to do that. So stoked as with that. And then in terms of the weekend, I got another comp on Saturday. I have to buy some fucking pants, man. Yeah, bro. I'm like, dress pants, really, and some black like polishable shoes. I'm like, nah, fam.
Oh, is it like formal?
Yeah, well, like
one of those darts events.
Yeah, gee, like how you see the pros, what they got that's what I've got to do.
Yep.
So I'm like, fuck. So yeah, no, that be me this weekend, doing that. So I'll definitely be trying to tune in and watch some footy. Luckily, the Broncos are on Friday night, so it'll be a quiet night Friday, and then lively from Saturday. It's darts and drinking go hand in hand, and we start at 9, so win in Rome, as they say. But looking forward to the weekend. Well, Bulldogs are up first. You want to give us the preview? We'll kick things off with the preview for the Bulldogs and the Raiders at Suncorp Stadium, 8 p.m. New Zealand time on Friday night.
Yes, more than happy to kick us off with this game. I feel as though this is turning into a bit of a Magic Round tradition. I know we've played them before in Magic Round. I know that because we should have won that game and we butchered it. But look, it's a good one. I think if you're not going to play the main event on Saturday, it's probably best to just go first, get in the Magic Round and get out of there. The boys coming off their loss against Penrith, but I feel as though we're definitely trending in the right direction. And this is the first of a string of games that I feel not only me, but the fans feel the Bulldogs can win this one. So this is really going to see if we have taken that step forward or we're just a run-of-the-mill team. Our team is looking the same as last week. I believe the 17 hasn't changed. The only difference is... Yeah, because Blake Taff is 18th man, I believe. So solid team, and they've been, ripping in, getting the job done. I know everyone's still hating about Drew Hutchison. It's on every Bulldogs forum, like every second comment. Pretty much everyone's saying, why is Drew Hutchison getting picked? He sucks. Some of the fans are now calling for Jermaine Salmons. They want him gone. And now that Preston's back, they pretty much want him to the bench. But it seems to be those two are getting it from copying it for most of the fans. Everyone seems to want either Sexton at 7 because he's been killing it in New South Wales Cup, or they're wanting Blake Taft to have a shot at that number 7. So yeah, whether we win or lose, I just feel as though the hate's going to be on Drew Hutchison regardless, which is stupid because I know he's not the best number 7, but it seems to me he's doing a job, and we're having close games. The ones we're losing, they seem to be close, and the ones we're winning, we're winning, and I just don't see why you would change anything now. It doesn't warrant it, I don't think. So yeah, hopefully, and he has his moments. Like I thought last week was one of his better games for us, Drew Hutchison. But yes, turning to this Raiders team, we got our Uncle Jordan Rapana, one of my favourite players. He's back at fullback. We got the former Bulldog. Well, he wasn't even a Bulldog because he played one season for us. Nick Kotrick on wing. I don't know who he's replacing. We got Tomoko, Chris Savage, and then it's the two young bucks in at the halves, Ethan Strange, Keon Weeks. So I feel as though we have a bit of an advantage in the back. Bronson Cherry's been really good for us. Critter seems to be getting better every week, and even though his stats don't say it, I feel as though his presence and his leadership's been something that's on display this year. And I feel as though he's helped take Carrez to that next level, being on the same side as him. And Carrez is playing absolutely, he's been playing good and solid. This is a big game for the likes of Adokai and Matt Burden, especially with Origin just around the corner. Matty Burden's probably been in some of his best form since being a Panthers. He's definitely been in good form for the Bulldogs for a sustained amount of time. And honestly, I think a man of the match performance here could see him potentially not only make the Origin team, but maybe shifting from centre into that number 6. Josh Adokar, I think there's a few players ahead of him, mainly To'o and Zach Lomax. So if he wants to get in that Origin team, he's going to need a big performance here. Critter looks like he's locked into one of those centres, and rightfully so. But yeah, we got Kikau looking to the forwards now. Kikau, he is a beast, and hopefully he maintains his form. I would like to see Preston shift into that second row, and Salmon move to the bench. Our bench has been solid. Bailey Hayward, he deserves a spot there. Curran, he's been good. He's been better than good. He's been excellent for us. Curtis Moran is just a little bulldog. Unfortunately, Raiders seem to be our bogey team. I think we've lost the last 8 games to them, and the Bulldogs are yet to win at Magic Round. So take those into factor, kind of plays into the Raiders. But honestly, going on form, Raiders had the bye last week. And then the game before that, they had that ridiculous comeback win against Manly. But I do hope the boys can pull through. This is a winnable game. Well, I said it's winnable. And if we want to take that next step, we have to win these games and edge closer towards that top 8 and solidifying ourselves there. But yeah, if I had to call it, bro, and give a prediction, I'm going to go with my Bulldogs to get our first win at Magic Round and to beat the Raiders for the first time in a while. Do I see it being high scoring? Not really. Maybe a run-of-the-mill game. I want to say final score 20-12. My Bulldogs. I want Matt Burden to win Player of the Game and make his claim for that Origin 6 jersey. So that is me. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, well, just going on your Kotrick, he came in round 9 to replace Schiller. Yeah, but he started at 5 in round 9, and now he's been shifted to 2. So maybe it might be his preferred side to help get him feeling at ease. Still unsure about that spine. Still pretty young, even with the veteran Jordan up on the back. Wily forward pack, definitely they don't give up on themselves, even though they got pounced by the Sharks a few weeks ago. They don't really give up on themselves. They give themselves the best chance to get in there, with the likes of Papali, Tapine, Smithies leading the way. It's a pretty decent forward pack there. With the Bulldogs, this is definitely a winnable game for them, I think. They're really wanting to push a claim that they're here this year. Might not be premiership winning team this year, but they're throwing their hat in the mix that they're a competitive team. They're not a team that's going to roll over and let you just pounce them week after week. I like the look of them. I think Bronson Sherry should step up a bit more this week. Really dominate in the centres. My fantasy team needs it, especially with Joey Manu out this week. We need some points being scored. Ethan Strange, I hope he bags a double, just because, again, fantasy team, my team needs some points. You did talk about Salmon. Yeah, I can tell he's been underperforming. He's been sitting on my fantasy team. He's just lucky I've had injuries. Otherwise, he would have been gone about 3 weeks ago. He has been underperforming. I can see why Bulldogs fans aren't very satisfied with him. Fantasy owners aren't that big fans of him either. Samuel Hughes has been on a small decline lately in terms of his work rate and performance. I know some fantasy owners aren't too happy with the way he's been scoring points or being unable to score points, so he might be one on the hit list next too. I know he's definitely been one of the highest sold players on your Bulldogs team, but Reid Mahoney, Kurt Mann have been two players that everybody's been raving about in fantasy. I did have Burton at the start of the season, but then I dropped him because he was performing poorly in like the first 2 games, which, I mean, fair enough, but now he's performing like a beast, but just nowhere to put him. No funds to get him. It means I have to give up the likes of a Joey Manu or a Lomax or a Tohu Harris or a Payne Haas, and I'm not doing that. But yeah, look, I'm actually looking forward to this game. I don't say that too often about a Raiders game, but I think these two teams will be evenly matched. I think it'll be a bit more than just an arm wrestle. I think there'll be good competitive action throughout the middle of the game. I think forward packs are going to have some fun, but I think where the Bulldogs get the edge is on the outside backs. I think they can spread the ball and shift it early and often and use their pace to beat the Raiders on the outside, or just kick in behind or into open space when they kick in on 4th or 5th, because Rapana isn't as fast as he used to be and he's back from injury. And, well, hey, statistics say when you come back from injury, you're due to go back on the injured reserve list. So there you go. What's his name? Burton. Kick him behind, or Drew Hutchinson, if you want to keep your job and keep the Bulldogs fans happy, just kick in an empty space or kick him behind Rapana so he has to turn around to go get the ball because he's not as quick, or kick a little bit shorter and use your pace and space to kill them. But yeah, I've got Bulldogs. Should we go Bulldogs by 12?
We will take it.
Over to the second game on Friday night at Suncorp Stadium. It's a home game for Manly at the home of the Brisbane Broncos. That's unfortunate, eh? Imagine, they should have just gave it us up. They might as well just give it to us. Makes no sense, but hey, we'll take it. We'll take it, Broncos fans. This is your one and only chance to see the Sea Eagles at home taking on the Brisbane Broncos at Suncorp Stadium. Manly. Look, I'm going to start with Manly and then I'm going to completely obliterate the Broncos because I'm still not happy with Kevy's selections. But let's get into it. Manly, over the past 4 or 5 weeks, have struggled to actually dominate a game and hold on to the victory. They let other teams creep in. Sometimes it works in their favour. Sometimes they can just hang on, but it's not going to work this week. You don't have Tommy Turbo to just hang on to. You've got Tolutau Koula coming in. Oh shit! They moved Tommy T to the centres. Buzzy.
You don't like that?
I don't know. Interesting. I've been buzzing on Tommy T the past few weeks. But anyway, back to Manly. The way they're structuring themselves at the moment, it's not a winning formula. At the start of the season, we thought they were really good. Luke Brooks was able to utilise himself really well in assistance to Cherry Evans and Turbo. But I think it was since I think after they've beaten Penrith, they haven't really done anything to solidify themselves as like a dominant team that you're kind of going into the week going, oh, no, we've got Manly this week. Shit, no, that's going to be a tough game. They did this, and this to Penrith. Like, outside of them beating Penrith, they've done nothing this season except get a draw against the Warriors. And, we've seen over the past few weeks with the Warriors, how big of a draw that was for Manly to win. I'm not overly sold on Manly beating the Broncos. However, it's a home game for them. Anything can happen at home for Manly here in Suncorp. But, yeah, those forwards really need to fire up early. I'd like to see a bit more from Taniela Paseka getting in there, as well as Olakuatu getting in there, doing some hard mahi early and often. Definitely need Cherry Evans to step up and guide the boys around the park a little better this week. Just a mixture of running the ball, passing the ball, kicking the ball. I think he needs to get in there and do a lot more. I know he's trying to do a lot week in and week out, but yeah, the team really needs him to step up big time. And, him being a Queensland boy, he's had plenty of big time performances at Suncorp. So, Manly fans, cross your fingers, cross your toes. He might be good to go. Now, this week, no Tristan Saylor, no Billy Walters. Tristan Saylor picked up an injury alongside Ben Takuda in reserve grade over the weekend, playing for Logan, I think it was, and Billy Walters suffered an injury in the last game. So that brings Tyson Smoothie into the starting hooking role. And our boy Blake Moser finally gets the chance this season to get a rip on. I'm hoping Blake Moser can do enough to solidify a spot on the bench, but I highly doubt it. I think no matter what happens, he's not going to get that spot. As soon as Walters comes back in, Walters is starting, Smoothie back onto the interchange at 14. Not too happy about that, but I'm glad Blake gets a chance to show his goods, and hopefully he goes well enough that, Kevy brings him back. Corey Oates. Look, you're lucky we've got D Mariner on the other side of the field. But, defending's just not your thing at the moment, is it, lad? You're a great player. You're a Broncos legend, but your defence hasn't been the greatest lately. A lot of people said it's because he hasn't been match fit. Well, this season he's played about 6 of the games so far, and it's round 11. So you do the math. He's played maybe just under half. We'll go just under half. We'll give him benefit of the doubt. He should be match fit. He's played almost the same amount of games as Dean and Jesse because they've all been injured. They're just taking turns at being injured. So come on, man. Corey, you really have to step up. Otherwise, I really, really want to see Jordan Pereira come on next week and at least have a try. We need some youth, some more speed. Imagine if we had another speedy winger on the other side of Staggs. Because Staggs is sound defensively, but he's got to make up for Oates when Oates tries to jam in off the line, cut across early, and then that leaves Staggs stranded again, which was a huge thing that Cobbo used to do last season. He used to come flying off the wing, try and make big plays happen, go missing, and Staggs has to double back and cover, or Herbie used to have to come back and cover. So, yeah, they need to sort that out. We see Jock Madden back, and to be honest, if Jock Madden doesn't have a great game, Josh Rogers comes in and we'll take him, because at the moment I think these two are neck and neck. Jock Madden has obviously had a couple more games than Josh Rogers, but Josh Rogers did a great job last week. Not great, but he did a good enough job for not being Adam Reynolds, and filling in for him there in that 7. So Jock Madden will step up. Ezra Mam last week had a great game, and we'll look forward to seeing more of that today. His chip and chase is amazing because he's got so much acceleration, and his combination with Reese is just growing, man. I love to see it. It's actually quite a cool combination between Reese, Selwyn, and Ezra. Those three, when they all sort of combine in a play, and it's always broken play through the middle of the field. One of them's getting a quick dart out of dummy, then you got Ezra or Selwyn right on their hip, or Reese on the other one, and then boom, one passes in, one pass out, and they got tries coming left, right, and centre with the big mean mug, arms crossed like this, or the "What's up, brother?" Are a few of their try celebrations, or Selwyn when he gets in and just gives it a massive boot into the crowd, and then hands go up. So no, I love the energy that the Broncos are playing with this year. They're definitely like how Penrith used to be when they had that really young team. They had that that youthful quote unquote cockiness about them. I think the Broncos are playing with their same cockiness now that the media like to call it. And yeah, I'm just loving what I'm seeing from the Broncos boys there. Payne Haas still killing it. Pio Kuda going hard. Jordan Ricky, best game last week. Paddy Carrigan, he is our guy. And then who was it? It was freaking. I read an article. It might be Corey Jensen. He said he'd be so keen to put his hand up for Origin, and amongst all the injuries that they have in the front row. And I'm thinking, mate, you're not even our best 8. Like, outside of Payne Haas, if Payne's not being counted, you're not our best 8. I'd rather have bloody Willison in there. He's a much better player. But hey, look, you guys made it to the Pro League. I didn't. I can just sit here and talk shit because that's what we do. But that's my opinions. I've got the Broncos getting up in Brisbane. I'm going to give us at least 16-point win. 16-point win.
Jesus. Yeah, it should be a good one. Actually, I say good game, but I'm not too sure. But the few things that I'm looking forward to is one, to see Kohler at fullback taking over from Turbo, who's is obviously out injured. He is so fast, so it'd be cool to see him at their fullback position and see how he does. Hopefully, he does well, and if he does well and kills it, you could start having a conversation that Turbo permanently makes the shift to centre. And maybe that's something that Manly should be looking at now, because he's not getting any younger. He just seems to be getting injured again, which is a shame. I'd like to see Luke Brooks. He came out of the gate firing those few 2 games, but he's kind of cooled off. So it'd be cool to see him step up in this game and give us just a reminder of why Luke Brooks is not that dude, but what he is capable with outside of that Tiger system. For the Broncos, I think this is a big one for Man. I've been high on him this whole year. He has really, really impressed me. And in my eyes, been one of the better sixes. He's just so... I don't know, he's got something about him, man. And when him and Welsh connect, it's a beautiful thing to watch. And again, another game without Reynolds there. But I think Man can step up and kind of do what he needs to do. And the other one, I think you mentioned it, is the rookie, Blake Moser. We've been talking about him for how long now? And, he finally gets his shot, his second NRL game. First game this year. So hopefully he goes out there and does really, really good, because I think it was a while back now, there was talks about him agitating for a release. And Kiwi's pretty much told him, look, you just have to wait by your time. Like, your time will come eventually. Well, here it is, and hopefully he gets onto the field. And I see you got that recruit from Cowboys. Did he play last week? That Jack?
Yeah, he was named to play. Not memorable, not from the top of the head, whether or not I remember seeing him out there or seeing him perform any good. So we'll see this week. I'll try and take more note of him being out there.
Hey, well, if he isn't standing out right, then
yeah,
that might be a worry. But look, with no Turbo there, it's always going to be hard for the Seagulls. They've got a good enough team to win it, but you just never know. And what happened to Nathan Brown? How come I can't see his name? He might be suspended or out injured. Never mind, it's neither here nor there. But we got Lodge is coming off the bench for Manly. You got two thirds of the Travojevic is there Olakau'atu versus, is it 11 against 11 or 11 against 12? Like when they line
11
up.
v 12.
So it's Olakau'atu versus Ricky, is it?
Yeah.
That could be
Well,
interesting.
that could be a way for the Seagulls to get through if they hit him on the outside shoulders. But if Olakwatu tries to meet him head on, yeah, I think Ricky will be able to stand up. But Piakura through Ben Trebojevic, that's going to be one.
That'd be a good battle on the other side. Yeah. Look, I see. I mean, I'm with you, backtracking a little bit, but how it's the Sea Eagles home game when it's Magic Round at Suncorp, like sometimes the NRL just has to make it make sense, you know? Like, what are we doing here? It's their home stadium, and you're literally telling them, "Oh no, it's your away game." So what that does mean though is that the Broncos have to be in the away shed, eh? Like, even though it's at Suncorp, Broncos won't get their home thing because it's not their home game, right? So I'm assuming that that'll be the only difference for the Broncos boys is that they won't be in their normal locker room; they'll be in the visitors' locker room. Which I don't think it would matter anyway. But keep it nice and short. I do think your Broncos will come away with victory. I wouldn't say you said 16 points, eh? I wouldn't say 16 points, but I think double digits. So I'd give them a 10-point buffer. It seems like you guys like to score tries, so I'm gonna go final score. Broncos winning. Let's go 30-20.
Nice.
Yeah.
nice. All right, heading over to Super Saturday, kicking things off at 5 p.m. The Gold Coast Titans are the home team here at Brisbane for Magic Round, taking on the Knights. Holy hecker. Well, I remember too said on Monday, the Titans winning at what cost last week. Well, let's just read out to you the ins, and bear in mind the ins do take into account the reserves list, like outside of the interchange. So ins, we've got Aaron Scope, Isaac Fa'asuamuiali, Jacob Alec Wieneke, Jaylan De Groot, Joe Stimson, Keenan Palacia, Tommy Weaver, Tony Francis. Man, that's a lot of people coming in. So we've got Keanu Kinney at fullback, Aaron Scoop coming into the centres. Chris Randall and Sam Verrills are the halves partner this week. Moi Aki Futuaika is the captain this week. And backflipping David Fafita is confirmed to stay at the Titans until 2026 after a phone call with the Roosters. I think it was late Tuesday night. I think I read in an article. He's just confessing some concerns he had about moving to Bondi, and I think at that point the Roosters rescinded their offer in case David decided to backflip on them, and then they would look like they got egg on their face. But they pulled the rug from underneath David Fafita and are playing I don't know why he came to us and to Penrith if he didn't want to leave Gold Coast. So hey, look, everyone's allowed to at least shop around if you've got an option. Like, here's my thing with contracts, right? If you're playing, or say we've got a mahi, right? We both work at a job, and then we've got an option to take a job that could present an opportunity for better job satisfaction. We might be taking a pay cut to go to these places, but we might be happier. We're allowed to shop around because it's in our contract that says we can shop around. So I'm gonna do it. If I've got a few more days, I'll definitely go. I'll go on that tour. They're going to fly me down there. I'll go on. I'll have a look, even if I don't have any plans to sign with the team or to sign at this job. And they're going to fly me down. I'm going. I'm going to go. Of course I'm going to go. Test the waters, look at the facility, see what it's like, see what they offer you. And if you don't like what they offer, you can come back home and tell the manager, you know what, I'll opt in. I'll take up my contract. No harm done. so it's going to be sad watching the Titans this week. They've been building up so much momentum in the past 4 or 5 weeks that, they deserve a lot better than what they're getting currently. And they're only, I think, 2 points above the Rabbitohs on the table, which sucks because the Rabbitohs, say less. What are we looking at here with the Knights? The Knights, like we've been saying, they look good without Ponga. And it might be a good thing because there's also a bit of controversy around Kalen Ponga. Apparently, there's been some misconduct in regards to the third-party payments for Kalen Ponga, which means the Knights may not fit under the salary cap, which could mean Kalen Ponga becomes a free agent. There's more to that story. That's not all of it, nor do we have a final verdict on whether or not Kalen is still going to be a Knight or whether the Knights will be getting punished, which would that effectively make them wooden spooners this year if they breach the salary cap and have been found to have breached the salary cap? Or is it next year?
I'm not too sure. It depends on how the NRL look into it, because they might just be stripped of points. That is definitely a possibility. It's happened in the past. Not too sure, but this whole third party thing's been a little bit weird, because I think the Knights are saying they're in the clear because it's
the
third
thing party.
Because what I heard is that, if you do a third party deal, it's between you and the third party, so we're good on. The Knights are pretty much saying, or from my understanding is, they're saying we're all right. If the third party doesn't pay you, well, that's between you and the third party. Like, you need to figure that out.
Because it's in an excess of $230,000 I've read.
Yeah, I definitely know it's 6 figures. Well, that's what his dad was saying. It's definitely 6 figures. So yeah, but the NRL's pretty much saying, not NRL, but the Knights are like, look, it's a third party deal, so, and it got registered right originally, so if their third party's not paying you, well, take it up with the third party.
Yeah, true. But doesn't that come under your contract? Like, I signed for 1.1 million, 230 of that is third party, and I'm not getting my 1.1?
I could not tell you. I would not have a clue when it comes to that sort of stuff, but I guess, I don't know, what's the nature of a third party, right? Like, is it between, like, exclusive to the club? Or like not including the club, right? With the third party deal? Not too sure.
Yeah, because I know that once that spun off, there were automatic rumours coming in that the Roosters are ready and waiting for Kalen Ponga's signature if he is no longer Newcastle Knight. So that will be something to look forward to seeing, is whether or not those buckwits at Bondi Beach can snap up another one of the league's best players. I don't know who needs to perform really well this weekend in order to, do bits for the boys moving forward. I just think it just needs to stay as is. Work on that collective effort. Paul Pearce is on the bench this week because Dylan Lucas is back. Is that the reason why? Is it Dylan Lucas that's come in?
I think it might be Frizzell.
Frizzell's come in, which moves Paul Pearce to the bench. And Paul Pearce has been playing fantastic lately. He's been playing some amazing footy. Be interesting to see if, that addition changes anything about this Knights shape and formation while they're out there on the field. Definitely something to look at this weekend. Just go over some of the stats. Won a piece. Shucks, they only played once last year, and then the Titans won in 2022. The Knights have won 3 of their last 5 games, with the Titans winning 2 of their last 5, but they had a close loss against the Storm, the Raiders, and the Sea Eagles, so it could have gone either way. comes down to this too. Look, points scored 157 to the Titans to 172 for the Knights. Not too much difference there, but it's the points conceded that you look at. 244 for the Titans and 185 for the Knights. The Titans lacked a lot of defense early on in the season, and the stats are starting to come back to normal now for the Titans. But yeah, I think there's a lot of damage done to that early on in the season, but it's good to see them starting to fight back. I hope that they do good enough in this game. I've been enjoying watching the Titans play over the past few weeks, but I think the Knights are too strong, and I've got the Knights by 8.
Not bad. I do feel for the Titans, like that win, great win, but yeah, it just cost them a few of their key players, and they're going to be out for a bit. It's looking like AJ Brimson might be out of Origin as well, which is super sad to hear. The people I'm looking forward to in this game is we do get to look at their fullback, Keone Kinney. Heard good things about him, man. And I think he played last week, but off the bench. So now he gets the shot at that number one, and I'm assuming he'll be there for a number of weeks, depending on what happens to what's his name, Jaden Campbell, and how far away he is from returning. But I think this is a game for the Knights. I'm loving Jackson Hastings. He is a player that, I don't know if you could build a team around him, but he seems to be really good when he's running everything. When he is the guy, he plays really, really well when he is, and he steps up to the plate. He gets to call the shot. He gets to do pretty much whatever he wants. Because the last few weeks he's been really, really good. Bradman Bess, I low-key hope he doesn't have a good game, because I feel as though if he has a dominant game like he did against the West Tigers, he might win their other centre spot in New South Wales. Because is this their last game, or next week's the last game before the team gets named, right? So everyone's got week 12 to prove their case, or is this the last one?
This might be the last one, because they go into Origin camp a week before Origin. So 5th of June.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, maybe they'll still play next week, but they definitely won't play that week after.
Okay. Yeah, but I think Jackson Hastings looking for him to have a big game. Like I said, Bradman Bess, I hope he doesn't. Good to see Adam Elliott playing well at their 13. To be honest, I just think there's too many injuries for the Titans to win this game, and the Knights have been looking good since Pong is out. So to me, it's pretty clear-cut dry who's going to win this one. I mean, the Titans might prove me wrong. They've done it before. But if I had to give you a score, I'm backing the Knights in this one. Final score, I'm going to go 24-6. I just don't think the Titans got any points. I just don't know where they're going to get their points from. Who's going to create it? Unless it's David Fafita.
Out of dummy.
Getting it, Yeah, out of dummy half, where he pushes the hooker out of the way and you get the ball.
And what was I going to say? This has been a season of upsets, and everyone who comes in and, it should be a team that you win against generally doesn't happen. So, Titans fans, you could get the win here. I'm just basing it off of the not lack, but the fact that they've lost, Brimo, Foran, who else is gone? Sami's gone. So, yeah, there's a few players there. I agree with you. I just think Knights, just on the form they've been on, have enough in the tank to get over the Titans. And then moving over to the second game, home game for the Sharks, apparently. They take on the Roosters at 7:30 p.m. New Zealand time at Suncorp Stadium in Brisbane. Both teams have had their fair share of injuries this season. And you know what's been a shining light of one of those injuries so far this season? Kale Edel. Man, it's yeah. I'm a big fan. I'm loving what he's doing out there. Loving what he's doing out there. He's doing great for my fantasy team. Well, not great. Like I suck. I think most of my players score like 20, 30 points max per week, except for my captains. But that's neither here or there. Tom Hazelton, 40-20. He's playing superbly well. They've got Nico Hines named here, but Tu was saying that he still has yet to pass a fitness test. Hoping that he gets out there, because if he's out there, I think the Sharks have every chance. I mean, last week they did win, but I know a few Melbourne fans have a few things to say about that and about the officiating in that game. I think Harry Grant has something to say there as well. Man, I don't really like this Roosters team, but I'll give them the respect they deserve. Suwali is moved to the centres this week in the absence of Joey Manu. He's out with concussion protocols. Brandon Smith is back this week. I just sold him on fantasy. He's been scoring. He'll probably go off this weekend. So me selling him in fantasy has probably done Roosters fans a world of wonders. Angus Crichton's been having a great season so far, and maybe there's a little bit more certainty in his career moving forward now that David Fafita hasn't signed to become a Rooster. But what was it? I've seen a lot of forums. People are saying, why do we want to re-sign Crichton? He goes missing every other year except for a contract year. And I was like, fair point. Hey, why do you need to play hard if you got the bag? Spencer Leniu had an amazing game last week. First game back in 8 weeks, and he had a point to prove. And I think he proved it. Him and Terrell May are going to be a formidable duo coming off the bench, man. Those are some bench bros. Those are some bench bros, man. And who knows, one of the two, will probably be starting eventually. But Jared, man, he's playing like he's got some youth in him. He's running off the back fence like he does not give a fuck, man. I'm liking seeing Jared run at this pace again. And I think, the coach has been rewarding him with a few more starts over the likes of May and, well, not Leniu. He hasn't been in as often. But, yeah, I'm loving, the Hitman's last season. And then, the dominance of Carey and Walker, Carey's defense and Walker's ability to just guide the players around the park. A 7 I'd love to see back in Broncos colours, but I don't think that'll ever happen. I think the Roosters' wallet's a bit too big. And I'm only saying that now because Reynolds is injured for most of the season. There's no actual Reynolds hate here. I love the bloke. He's done so much for the club. He's turned the club around just in terms of his leadership as well as his skill set. So, it'll be interesting. I'm picking the Sharks to win this game. I think Tedesco gets knocked out in the first 10 with either a stupid tackle or how he goes to step and then he drops down and then someone will just clip him around the jaw because he doesn't know how to run properly. But, that's all I've got to say because I hate the Roosters. And good luck, Sharks. I'm hoping Mulitalo goes for a double. I've got Sharks by 4.
You have Sharks by 4, and I was saying before that I originally picked the Roosters, and you pointed out that Manu isn't playing, so I switched to the Sharks. But after hearing you talk, I think I've switched back to the Roosters. Yeah, man, Roosters got some things going on, with the whole David Fafita backflip, as you mentioned, and then Angus Crichton in his contract year. People, it is such a thing when players are in contract years that they want to do whatever they can to get their bag. I feel as though it's most easily seen in the NBA. Like if you're playing fantasy, NBA fantasy, you always want to pick players in contract years because they're always going to want to get their stats up, and they're probably better than what they normally would be if they were to sign that new contract. Rumours are also just resigning tonight that Satili has been given permission to talk to other clubs. That was quickly followed by reading something else that said if they don't re-sign Angus Crichton, they would turn your attention to Sitili Tupanua and start talking to him. So it's like, you thought you had Fafita, you know, because they always get their man. Funny how, like, when they don't get their
They flip the
person, how,
narrative.
like, quick they are to
Yeah.
respond to. Yeah. It's quite funny, you know, because they're not used to missing, you know. If they want someone, they get them. And, yeah, also the fact that, you know, he did go to them, or, you know, manager reached out. You know, well, what's he meant to do? Of course he's going to reach out, you know. But, yeah, man, those Roosters, it's funny. Looking at this team, I'm a little bit sad to not see is a Nofo White. He's the one that's been partnering May as this second prop off the bench. Though, because him and May have had a killer connection and have been really, really good as the two props off the bench for the Roosters. But with Lenu being back, it's White that's been dropped out of the side, which is a little bit unfortunate. And Egan Butcher, I don't know, man. I feel as though there was a time when Nat Butcher was going to get dropped because he wasn't doing that well. I feel as though the Butcher's brothers haven't really been as good as they have been in the past. So I was really shocked because I feel as though White's been, I wouldn't say he's been standing out, but I don't think he's warranted being dropped, you know? Like, solid in his performances. So yeah, that's a little bit hard done by. Looking back at the Sharks team, yeah, look, this might be a big one for Cam McInnes. He's been hot on everyone's tongue at the moment because it's looking like he might make Origin, which is crazy because I don't think he didn't make our team, on Tuesday? No, he didn't. So, yeah, but I think it's because, you know, he can cover a number of positions, so they're kind of viewing him as that 14. I just don't see it, Like, I get he's good, has his moments, but I don't know, man. Not for me. He wouldn't make the team if I was selecting. But they could all change with a big performance, you know. This is a week where everyone has to state their claim for the Origin top. So you would hope Hines is there, because if he's there, then he could pretty much rubber stamp his number 7 top for New South Wales. And Luke Keary, if he has a blinder, he could be in that 6. Hines and Cleary is a combo for Origin. I think we did talk about it in the last podcast, It was up there. Was that the halves pair we went with, right? For New South Wales.
Hines and Keary, or Moses and Burton.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Hazelton, just like you, big fan. And yeah, don't really have much else to say. I think is this the game of the round? I'm not too sure. I don't think I wanted to say that, but I would assume it would be one of the more hotly contested games. And it is, the second game on the Saturday, Yeah, so not quite prime time, but I guess
I'm loving that
event.
it's not prime time, man. I'm loving that it's not prime time.
But I'm going to go with the Roosters. I know Joe Manu's not there, but I think they've still got class all around to get it done in a close one. Final score. It depends if Hines is playing. Nah, I'm just going to go with the Roosters anyway, but it's going to change the final score. I'm going to go 24-20 Roosters.
Nice.
In the close
one. Well, over to the quote-unquote main event of the evening. Not going to lie, probably won't watch this. Neither of these teams excite me that much. We've got the South Sydney Rabbitohs in last place taking on the Cowboys in 12th place. It's a home game for the Bunnies, an away game for the Cowboys. Again, this one should have been flipped. You know, I feel like for all the Queensland teams, should have been flipped. This should be a home game for all the Queensland teams. Because, I mean, we're just up the road from the Cowboys, and a lot of their fans can probably make that trek down for that weekend. But, hey, look, it is what it is. can't change much now. We got Isaac with the long last name out there in the centres this week. He was on the wing last week. Hey, Isaac with the long name.
Hold five.
Anyway, I'll carry on.
Yeah, I think so. He's played a few games
but
for
I was
them.
just trying to figure out where he was because he's in the centres this week with Gay Guy on the wing. And then we got Dion back in the 7 jersey again. He must have done enough last week for Hornby to give him the nod and come back. Damien Cook still out there. Look, Keon Kolomatangi out there all alone. Havili in that 13 jersey. I think I picked him up in fantasy just because he was cheap and I wanted to pick up the hammer. So I needed a backup hooker because I sold Brendan Smith. And I've got Harry Grant, but Harry Grant's probably going to go off for Origin. So, yeah, we had to swap those guys out. Tallis Duncan back on the interchange and Tane Milne on the interchange. Old Tane can't tackle. Old head high Milne. Old knock your block off. Then over on the Cowboys side, they just... I don't know what they did last week, man. They almost turned it around and got a win over the Titans last week, but they looked uncertain of scoring. They had opportunities, just touching the line, obstructions. If they played a bit more discipline this game, they'd definitely have a chance of getting the win. The Rabbitohs are the worst performing team this season, but I think, and there was an option for me to put this as the highest scoring game of the round, but I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's actually going to be a quite closely contested match. I think they're going to go back and forth for a little bit because neither can defend and neither can attack. They both look a bit flat. They've been floundering around. But the Cowboys are due for a big performance. The Bunnies, everyone says, are due for a big win. I don't see it yet. I haven't seen enough from them. Like with the Titans, I was pretty confident that by the Sea Eagles game, was it the Sea Eagles game? Let me just have a quick look. I was pretty confident, by the Sea Eagles game that the Titans were going to get a win. They obviously didn't get a win versus Sea Eagles, but I was 100% willing to back them versus the Warriors, and they didn't disappoint me. I don't think the Bunnies are at that level yet. I've got to see a couple more games from them, and maybe I do watch this game. Maybe I do, but when you're coming off, a 34-4 versus the Warriors in a loss to the Sharks 34-22, a loss to the Storm 54-20, a loss to the Panthers 42-12, and in that game it was like 7 unanswered tries, or a loss to the Dragons 28-14. And I think the Cowboys got a few wins over the Dragons, and the Cowboys are also on a 5-game losing streak. They lost 20-27 versus the Eels. They lost 42-6 versus the Sharks. They lost 26-20 versus the Panthers, 26-28 versus the Dolphins, 20-18 versus the Titans. So in their last 3 games, they've been managing to just lose it in the final seconds or get back into the game, but it's just a little bit too late. So I think in this one, the Cowboys should be able to maintain control. But what they can't do is leave it too late in the game, or they can't go rushing out too early and then flounder out towards the end of the game, which has been happening the past 2 weeks. I like the experience and the form that a lot of the Queensland forwards are in, so I see them sort of getting over the Bunnies forwards because a lot of them are ring-ins. Not a lot of them are starters. I think Kolomatangi, Cook, maybe Kepi, Walker, Whiten, Johnston, Mitchell. They're your starting lineup from the start of the season. So, yeah, I've got to go with the Cowboys. I'm going to go with another 8-point game. I'm going Cowboys by 8.
Not bad. This is a game that, I don't know. I mean, I feel as though the season for the Rabbitohs is over. They're just really building for next year. Jackie Wyden has said that he will not be playing New South Wales this year. Fair enough. And the Trout, I don't think will be there as well, and so will Cody Walker. I just don't even. I don't even know if they can turn it around. Like, it's just been so bad for the
Yeah.
Rabbitohs. There's just, I don't really know what to make of it. And the Cowboys, they're just one of those teams that I just don't watch at all. I couldn't even tell you why. I don't know. I feel as though some teams I just don't feel like watching, and it always seems to be them. But I feel as though I should pay attention to them more for the bro Griffin Neem or Nelme, but also Reese Robertson, because I've been hearing he's like the front. He's the one that's most likely to get named at 9 for New South Wales. And I know he had a good season last year and he was in contention. I actually think he made one of the squads. Can't remember. So yeah, maybe just watching him to see how he goes and see what the hype is about. But I just don't know. Like, what both teams. Someone's about to break their losing hoodoo, and get their first win in over a month. Could this be where their season starts to change? To be honest, I can't see it. I think it'll just be one game mini, and yeah. It's weird because you watch Cowboys sometimes, right? And they can blitz teams and they're looking like a top 8 easy. But then they have patches where they're getting pumped and they look like not a top 8 team, like easily. So it's like their highs are really high, but their lows are really, really low. And when it's like that, you just lack consistency, and it shows, right? They started off the season 4-1, now they're 4-6. I mean, on that record, right? They could rattle off 4 in a row. Their next 4.
Yeah, true.
Like that's what kind of form they're in. You just never know. In Rabbitohs, I mean, good to see Alex Johnson back. He hasn't scored this year?
Yeah, he scored
year,
in
right?
round 1. I think he bagged a double in round 1.
Ah, okay. Oh, is that why? Because Billy Slater was going to go to the next game, right? Because he was due to break his record?
He has been quiet, then he got injured.
Yeah, so he hasn't quite broken Billy's record.
And at this rate, he might not get close to Ken Irvine either.
Yeah, because it looked like it was a foregone conclusion he was going to break that record. But now, yeah, he's kind of slowed up. But he's still quite young. He's not 30, right? Like, he's like only, I want to say like 26, 27.
He's not fast anymore. He's 29.
Oh, okay, so pretty much just 30. But I think he was also hampered at the start of the season as well. But they pretty much had no one else. Man, he better pick up the pace. I don't know. I think if we could get one in Magic Round, it would be good. But I could not tell you. Look, I've got the Cowboys winning this one. Similar to you, high scoring. If I had to give you a score, let's go with 36-30. Yeah.
36-30? Not bad. Right, now over to Sunday night. Do we have 3 games? We do have 3 games on Sunday. Barzy.
Yeah, it's that Thursday game.
So it's going to be a long Sunday. I don't know if I can watch all 3 games on Sunday. Like, it's hard to watch 3 games on Saturday. 3 games on Sunday is going to be tough. Okay. Cool. Well, let's get into it. So we've got the Warriors preseason team takes on the Penrith Panthers. It is a very different looking team, but we do know that Andrew Webster is a king of naming a lineup and then changing it on game day. This may not be it, but we've got Tuopiki lining up at fullback, filling in for the injured Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Oh no, he'll be filling in for the injured Sean Johnson because Chance has now moved to 6 and Tamari Martin to 7. So Tuopiki is in for Roger. Then we've got Ali Leatua who will be in. Tuopiki is in for Sean. Leatua's in for Rocco. Pompey back in for Rogers, Marcelo in for Ed Corsi. And then on the bench, in the forward, we've got AFB. Bunty is in for who? For Cape. Well, because Mitchie Barnett's been shifted to second row. Jackson Ford, Mitchie Barnett in second row. Egan starting hooker this time. And I don't think, that's right, because what's his name got injured, Lussick. He's not playing this game. I've got Walker, Tomale, Tivanga, and Laban on the interchange. When do you got to bring in Zion Ma'u? He's good, man. He's good. You got to bring him in. Man, they're digging deep into the reserves. They got Ben Farr playing. Have you even heard of Ben Farr? Me either. I'm clicking on him. He's 22 years old. He's from Queensland.
Ben Farr.
He's only played for the Warriors, and he hasn't debuted. That's how far they're digging into their reserves. They're gone so far. They got to pick up Ben Farr. Scott Sorensen's making his slow comeback to the Panthers first grade side. He's been named in the reserves as I scroll back to the top. But man, oh man, even without some big news is, obviously there's no Cleary this week, and what's his name? Schneider. I just So he's not playing also, which means Luai to 7, which will be interesting for Tigers fans to see if Luai can, play well at 7, because we all know Lachlan Galvin is that guy at 6 for the Tigers currently. So if Luai can play some 7, hopefully they can keep Galvin at 6 over at the Tigers next year, which brings in J. Cole, which threw me off. They have a J. Cole in the Panthers, Jack Cole, not Jermaine. This is Jack, his cousin. Be interesting to see how he goes, but like we always say with these Panthers players, it's next man up. Doesn't matter who you are, what position you play, it's next man up. And sure enough, we got next man up. That back 5 for the Panthers, I think it's just going to have a field day with the Warriors. Dallin's going up against To'o. Mate, if you're a gambling man, you got To'o for a triple. Come on now, Whānau. To'o for a triple, or at least for a double, and May for a single, because I think they're going to be tearing up that edge. We do know Pompey's defense is questionable, but to be honest, he was one of the better defenders on that edge last weekend. So I've got nothing to say, nothing bad to say about Adam Pompey last week. His efforts were actually quite commendable, I thought. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. He'll be going up against Isaac Tango and Sunia Taruva. And Taruva, he's got an itch for tries, man. He's just been scoring them left, right, and centre. Mitch Kenny's been doing a serviceable job from hooker for the Panthers this year. Azair Yeo, he'll be stepping up big time in the absence of Cleary. And this is also another thing that we'll be looking forward to, is to see what kind of a role he'll be playing in the absence of Cleary as we come into Origin, to see how his game is going to fit into this new South Wales side. Maverick Geyer making his return off the bench. He'll probably get, the last 10, 15 minutes on game time this week, but who knows, he might get more if it's actually a bit of a blowout. A lot of people are saying that this will be the highest scoring game of the round, and it just might be that. I kind of forgot the damage that they put on the Bunnies when I picked the highest scoring team of the round in the TAB this week. So yeah, my bad. But anyway, I've got Panthers by at least 20. Sorry, Waz fans. I'm not off the bandwagon, but look, I'm just facing, this is the reality of the situation. You got players that haven't really played together in this first grade side, and a lot of them are coming up from reserve grade just due to all the injuries, and you're going up against the Panthers team that's slowly, just week by week, they're getting better.
Yeah, look, I'm just going to keep it simple. It's not looking good for the Waz. Not looking good at all. I don't even know what I'm looking forward to in the Warriors team. I'm being honest. Like, and I think we were talking about in the chat with Ben and Dylan Walker. Like, I thought he could have played in the halves. I mean, he's played in the halves before, but he's, I guess, a bigger body now because he's been turned into that number 14 off the bench, so his fitness might not be there to play in the halves anymore for a full game, which fair enough. But that just leaves you so weak in that back, man. Not saying that no chance isn't going to do a good job at 6. I assume he's going to be a solid job, but so different, right? Tamati Martin is just going to have to, I don't even know what he's going to have to do.
Yeah.
He's going to do everything. But it just doesn't change the fact that this Penrith team, or the Standard, as I like to call them now, I just assume it's going to be a clinic. We finally get to look at this Jack Cole guy. He's been earmarked as the potential replacement for Luai.
Oh, yeah.
And well, he's going to have a go with that 6. And Luai, playing in that 7. He's done it before for them, for Penrith. He has been in that number 7 jersey on more than, or maybe just a few occasions, but normally during Origin period, when Nathan's been in Origin, he kind of took over that mantle as the number 7, and he's looked good in his few games there, right? He kind of, obviously with Nathan being there, he sticks to his side because he knows Nathan's got it. So he's more than happy to just play second fiddle and, when the ball comes his way, to just do what he does. But Nathan not there. I do expect him to step up. Jack Cole, be good to see how he goes, but really, I just think Dylan Edwards is just going to have a game. And I would not be surprised if he gets player of the match and gets the full 6 points from this game. And we could be looking at, this is a third of the way through the season. And he's the current leader of the Dally M. And I think a game like this against the Warriors, he could improve that lead. And not saying that he's going to end up winning the Dally M, but he's looking solid. And if he keeps this up, especially with Nathan being out as long as he is, it might just be hard for someone to catch him. Well, not catch him, but, because I feel as though every game Penrith play, he's going to get points in the Dally M. And that's kind of what you need if you're not going to be racking up 6 points each week, to get a 3-pointers here or 2 points there each week, just being consistent. But yeah, just going to keep it simple. I hope Sorensen is a late inclusion for Maverick Gaia. He seems to be the logical one if Sorensen does. And I think this is the first time he's been named at all, right? Sorensen, since his injury, this is the first time he's ever been named as a reserve.
He played one game a couple of weeks ago and then got injured again. Yeah.
Oh,
so he's played this season. I think it was the Manly game.
Because I feel as though he hasn't had that good of a season this year, but it's because he's just been injured,
so he's played in and out of injury games this season. He played round 2 and 3 versus the Eels and Broncos, and then the last game was round 7 versus the Tigers. But that goes again, brings up that stat of getting injured twice. When you come back from an injury, you're sort of off again almost instantly with another one. So stay safe out there, Fano.
Yeah. We need to figure out who's this team doctor and physios are.
Pro facts.
Get better.
Get your money back.
Technology's better, right? Medication's better. Everything's better. So it's just, I don't know what's happening. Anyway, keep it short and simple. Panthers are definitely winning this one. Well, I shouldn't say definitely, but they should win this one quite comfortably. If I had to give you a final score, I'm going to go with 24. This might be an O for game, eh? 24-0. Yeah, I think their defense is too good. Unless it's a breakaway try or intercept. With that back line, I just don't see how they get breakthrough.
I agree. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, I'm looking at this lineup again, and I'm like, shit. Maybe the Panthers are the highest scoring game of the round. Oh well, that's neither here nor there.
I think it'll be the biggest margin of victory.
Yeah. Okay, over to the second of the 3 games on Sunday. The Melbourne Storm up against the Parramatta Eels. Melbourne Storm robbed of a win last week versus the Sharks. Harry Grant, for some reason, sent off for just tapping a foot. just tapping a foot. And hey, it's all good if it's consistent throughout. But like I said, was it Dylan Walker's foot or Jazz Tavanga? I don't know. They look the same. Got hit in that game against the Roosters, and it was just a play on as per usual. Is that lady reffing again? That's one thing I haven't checked, is to see where she's at, because she is a terrible ref.
Belinda Sharp?
Nah. Casey Badger, she's a touch judge this week for the Sharks and for the Roosters. Be careful, Sharks fans. It might be a Roosters game to win. Far note. She's got a thing for those Roosters boys. I'm just double checking all the referees now throughout the Magic Round.
Yeah, just saying we got Ashley Klein. We never win when he's the...
That's a thing now too that I want to start putting into my multis. It's a bit too late for me today, but I'm going to start looking at these match officials, and seeing who's who. But yes, over to the second game, Thursday night, Melbourne Storm versus the Parramatta Eels. I don't know, man. The Eels, even though they beat the Cowboys, they don't look the same without Moses, and he is not named on the reserves here, so he's injured for another week. They suspected he'd be back this week or next week. If he's back next week, he's only got 1 week to prove he's fit for Origin, which I think is absurd. So we're praying that Hines is fit, so we've at least got a 7. Because like we did on Tuesday's show, we broke it down and we realized we actually don't have any 7s currently that can fill the void of Nathan, Nico, Moses. Who else was there that we threw in the hat for a 7?
We didn't really. It was mainly those
There's not
3.
too many other 7s playing, right? Unless you go for a Wishart. Yeah, that's what I mean. And no offense to Wishart, but yeah, he's not under the category of those 3 names that I mentioned just before. So anyway, Xavier Coates, he is back this week, so that's good to see for Melbourne. A little bit more strike power, so he'll probably get over for a try. Oh, I don't know. He's going up against Micah Seville. Never mind. I take that back. Micah Seville's probably good for a try himself. I just think this Melbourne forward pack, they just keep getting better and better. They really pride themselves on defense. They lost last week 18-25, so they kept in it for a majority of that game. But yeah, I think that Sinbin really changed the tide for them. Munster's finding some flying form. That's good to see. One thing that kind of swings in the favour of the Eels is Blaze Talangi. Man, he was good last week against the Broncos. If they had tidied up some of their runs, if they timed their runs a little better, they probably would have got away with them. But a lot of their tries were obstructions. And yeah, filling the gap, or taking that gap that's caused by the lead runner taking out the lead tackler. So unless they've figured that out, I'm going to have to go with Melbourne Storm getting up over the Parramatta Eels. I'm not too sure who's going to stand up and, outscore the Storm, because, the Storm just grind, and they just stay with you the whole game, and the win just kind of falls in their lap. But last week it didn't quite fall their way. It showed that they are vulnerable, that they can lose games. And I'm not saying the Eels are going to be mean and the Eels are going to carve up, but I think they'll give them a chance. They'll give them a chance. I know the Bulldogs hung in there, but I don't think the Eels are as good as the Bulldogs are. So I've got this being maybe a 18-point game. We'll go 22-4. That's 18 points? Yeah. Quick
yes,
math.
it is. Look, I know we've been talking about the Storm, right? And when it comes to them winning, it seems like they like to steal those wins. So they get no sympathy from me about them losing last week and what some might call a robbery. No, you don't get that from me. But as I do know, they've lost twice, and who's been missing from both those games? They're at number 7, Jerome Hughes. So maybe I'm reading too much into it. but he's not there this week again. So maybe, could it just maybe that the Eels pull up the upset? Because if they win this right, it will be the upset of the
And it's
round.
doable.
And the Storm would be 0-3 without Jerome Hughes. In terms of people that I'm looking forward to in this game, hopefully that man at number 14, Jack Howarth.
Yeah,
Did
for
he
a
get
little
on
bit.
last week? Because you said he was on. Oh, surely he gets on and shows us what he's about, man. I don't know whether other teams have inquired about him, but he gets paid quite a lot for someone who sits on the bench. I'm pretty sure he's on decent coin, and they're signed him to quite a long deal too. And the fact that he still hasn't been able to crack it, it's a little bit annoying. I do see the Eels getting up for this game for some reason when they play like a Storm or Penrith. They are definitely up for games. It's games that they get up for. But it always seems like when something goes wrong their way or like goes against them, it just snowball effects and it can get out of hand real quickly. Looking forward to that fullback Blaze Talangi. That's a fullback battle and a half A. It's not quite Pippin Hewson versus Gutho, but you're looking at two future number ones, so it's a good battle. See how they go. Dylan Brown, what did we say he was? He's a good Robin, eh?
He's a great 6.
Yeah. He's a good Robin.
Well, it's because he's
not
a
quite
defensive-minded 6, eh? He's great on defense. When it comes to guiding the team around the park and, being a precision kicker, that's not his role because that's what Mitch Moses does, right? So it's that learning curve. It's hard to change up.
Yeah. Moses is a dominant half, and it's his team and they know it. So Dylan Brown will always defer. But yeah, look, it's a big game for Jermaine Hopgood. If he does well in this one, pretty much rubber stamps him into that 17, which I think he's going to be there or thereabouts anyway. But pretty much just lock it up. I don't know, part of me wants to say the upset just because Jerome Hughes isn't there. And then they'll go 0-3. Could it be that it's another close game? It might even come down to another field goal.
Oh, yeah.
Can Dylan Brown hit that field goal? Or could Blaze come out of nowhere and then kick it? I know he's a fullback, but, playing the half as well, even though it didn't go great. The fact that they've caught up Dejan Arce for the second time is worrying. But, yeah, I don't know. I just feel as though Storm kind of stole those wins, and it might be that's coming back to haunt them now, and there might be a few close games that might not go their way. I say that, and then next thing you know, they win by freaking 40 and just pump them. Which, by the way, would not surprise me. If anything, it's more likely to happen than the Eels winning a close one. But I just want to go with it because I want to see if this theory is true. Is Jerome Hughes the guy?
Definitely like MVP, eh? Definitely MVP-esque if they don't win.
Yeah, I think to me, Jerome Hughes has been the best Storm player this year.
Stepped up big time.
Yeah, he's been really, really good. So, you know what? Why not? I will back the Eels in this one. In a close one, I feel as though they're going to win it with a drop kick. I don't know who, or field goal. I don't know who gets it. But I think field goal in like the probably early 70 minutes, like 72, 73. Kind of like what happened against the Sharks. But there won't be a try this time. So we're going to go the Eels with the upset of the round, winning on a field goal. The last 10 minutes of the game, then they will hold on. Final score, let's go 19-18.
You think this might go to Golden Point? You don't think Golden Point, you think?
I feel as though teams now in close games know to go for the drop kick earlier. Like, even if it's like the 70th minute, 10 minutes left to go. Because then at least you have that little buffer, It's like the onus is on our team. They have to score. We don't have to score.
That is true.
So...
That is true. Well, heading over to the final game of the Magic Round. The West Tigers take on the Dolphins, which mean the Dragons get the bye this week. So Dragons fans, just put your feet up, chill out. Maybe watch the Broncos this weekend. Who knows? But I'll miss watching Zach Lomax and Tyrell Sloan out there this weekend. But it's all good. Vince's team, the Tigers, are taking on the Brisbane Dolphins, the little Broncos. And we see the hammer is back, which all our queries were answered. Trey Fuller is now a reserve. He ain't even on the interchange. He a reserve. He 18th man. So, karoha, my bro. It was fun while it lasted. I don't really know where else to put them. I guess if Herbie or Jake fuck out, then Hammer moves down and Trey comes back in. But yeah, Hammer is a great addition. I had him in fantasy before he got injured and he was carving up, so I brought him back. Welcome home, Hammer. Welcome home. He's actually the first player I've brought back after getting injured in my fantasy team. I kept Payne. I held him throughout his entire freaking injury. So yeah, anyway, Hammer versus Jareem Buller will be a good matchup. Brent Naden was too slow on the wing, so they've shifted him into centre and they've brought on, I don't know who was playing last week. Lockie Galvin out there doing Lockie Galvin things. I'm really enjoying the rookie this season. He's playing superbly and under the guidance of Benji Marshall. Benji would exactly know how to handle this guy. Who was it? Was it you that was saying, or someone was saying the reason they're bringing over Luai was to sort of mentor this kid? But I was like, that's a dumb reason because you've got one of the greatest sixes in Benji Marshall, mentoring and tutoring the guy. So it makes no sense why you'd bring another six over. But hey, it is what it is. Fainu out there doing Fainu things. There's two Fainu.
Yeah, pretty sure they Nah, I was about to say twins, but I know they're brothers.
I think. I don't know which one's older. Maybe Samuela is younger because he's got no facial hair. I'm just going off facial hair, really. One looks younger with the no facial hair, and the other one with the facial hair looks older. Anyway, we got two Fainu, and man, that just sounds like a problem. That just sounds like a problem, man, because he is a handful on his own. Get his bro in there, double the trouble. For the Dolphins, man, they're looking good, aren't they? They're looking like they can turn a season around from last year to this year. All they needed was just a little bit more depth, eh? And look what the super coach can give them. Who also said today that, there was reports come out that Wayne had signed a $3.3 million with the Rabbitohs, the most lucrative coaching contract in the history of coaching. And a couple of hours ago, he came out and said, I haven't signed anything. And until I sign anything, nothing is confirmed. We've had meetings, but I said wait until after Magic Round and we'll meet again and then we'll have a final decision. So he's not going anywhere, Dolphins fans. Bunnies fans, sorry. He's not coming back home to the Warren, but he's certainly not coming back is also a thing. He just, I think, needs more time with the boys, and his whole focus is on this season with the Dolphins. He doesn't really care too much about what the Bunnies are up to this season nor next season. He just wants to get through this season with the Dolphins. So Dolphins fans, at least you've got the king on board. Not too many changes in this side otherwise. I do think Mark Nichols just signed a contract extension as well over the past couple of days. I did read that. Isako, please score that double this week, man. I still got you on my fantasy team. If you don't perform that well this week, we are dropping you next week. Just know that. But yeah, I'm liking what the Dolphins are up to. They've won 3 of their last 5 games, dropping 2-point game to the Knights, and then obviously losing against the Broncos. The 2 games the Tigers have played against the Dolphins, one earlier this season and one last year, they've gone 1 apiece, with the Dolphins winning 26-16 versus the Tigers in April this year, so pretty recently. On paper, the Dolphins look better, but I know the Tigers could turn their season around. All it takes is one game, right? Look what happened to the Titans. All it took was one game to turn things around. The Tigers do show a little bit more life than the likes of the Bunnies. I'd be more inclined to say the Tigers can turn their season around before the Bunnies would. the thing that's held the Tigers back the past couple of weeks has been the marginal calls from the referees. They've definitely been hard done by the past few weeks, including that try up he had that was taken away from him versus the Broncos. So I'm a Broncos guy, but that was a try for all money, and to have that ripped away, you kind of have to wonder: is there racism in the NRL? Is it because they're being coached by a Māori? There's all those questions that get brought up again. Just like the Warriors fans when they say they were hard done by last weekend. They were. Oh no. She's the TMO for this game as well. So good luck with that one, Tigers fans. But yeah, I've got Dolphins. I put this as the highest scoring game and the highest scoring team. So let's go no defense. We'll go Dolphins. And I made a big mistake too, because when was the last time the Dolphins scored high? Oh, last week they scored 30. Okay, so I can rock with that. Let's go 44-20.
Yep, you weren't lying when you said high scoring. I don't really need to go. I don't really know where to go with this Tigers team. They got a few outs of Azair Papali'i and John Bateman. I think Bateman might be out for a while too, unfortunately. And they also got Stafford To'o, who's out as well. But it's good to see the old former rugby player Chiefs, eh? Yeah. Solomon Alaimalo. He's looked good, man. He hasn't looked out of place, which is good, And I feel as though compared to Stades and Naden, he's a better option if you ask me. But I think this is just a Dolphins team that I guess are riding confident and feel like they belong in that top 8 because they kind of do, man. They've been really well this year. And this is, like I keep saying, when it comes to games you are expected to win, you need a win. And that's exactly what I expect of them. Yeah, to the bro, Trey Fuller, it is what it is. It's kind of was always going to be that way once the hammer came back. Unless the centre was out or someone else was out, you're probably going to be left completely off the team, and that's what happened. But he might be back. But I'm really liking Azair Katoa. For someone that's so young, he looks like a veteran 7. Could he? Maybe be... Nah. It's not New South Wales, is he?
You carry on. I'll look that up.
I mean, obviously, he plays for Tonga. He's the Tongan team number 7.
Well, he's born
so I'm wondering if he has that eligibility.
Yeah.
As in Lower Hutt.
Yeah.
Actual.
So I don't even know if he's eligible for Australia.
Probably isn't. True, so he could be playing for us, eh? Not bad, bro. Not bad at all. That defeats that question then. Never mind.
He moved to Sydney at the age of 9.
Okay.
So he's eligible.
Well,
he's eligible for 3.
All right then. Well, that's I mean, I don't think he will, but he's been playing good. He looks wiser beyond his years, and I feel as though he's been one of the Dolphins' best. And it's shown, man. He's quite high in the Dally M rankings or award.
And he's only 20 years old.
He's doing really, really well. Yeah, he's young. He's young, man. They're talking about how you can't find 7s. They were smart to lock him up to a long-term deal.
Can't find 7s.
20, what he can do, yep. They're worth their weight in gold, those number 7s, especially the good ones. But look, I mean, I've got the Dolphins winning this one. Do I got it as high as you? Yeah, Dolphins always seem to be in high scoring games, eh? Do they? Feel as though they just. I
Yeah,
don't know. Know what it
they've
is
been in
about
a
them.
few high scoring games.
But I'm gonna go with yeah. I'm gonna give it to the Dolphins. Final score. I'm gonna go with 30 to. I'll give them 2 tries. 30-12 to
Yeah,
the
because when
Dolphins.
Hammer was in, that's when they had the highest scoring games. He was scoring like 3 tries a game and getting like two or three try assists per game. Like they were on fire when he was in.
Yeah, that's right.
But then there's also that double injury curse, so that could be a thing. But that wraps up our what do we call them? Round 10, Magic Round, round 11, sorry, Magic Round previews for the week. As we shoot over to our TAB segment here on the practice run. The TAB segment brought to you by, man, you know who I want to sponsor us, man? Have you seen that Drink the Milgy? Drink the
The
Milgy.
what?
It's like this
No.
guy, he's making milk tea. He's a Samoan, like Kiwi fella. And he makes, well, he might be Tongan. I don't know how my bro. But he drinks the milgy. He's making like milk with proteins and stuff in it. And it's called Drink the Milgy. Brown owned and operated. They do banana milgy, chocolate milgy, regular milgy. Just drink the milgy. It's in Auckland.
How do you even spell it?
Milgy. Milgy. Yeah, drink the
Oh, okay.
milgy. Anyway, I want us to get sponsored by Drink the Milgy. Could you imagine this segment brought to you by Drink the Milgy? Shut up and drink the milgy. Anyway, I'm off topic, but hey, it's not sponsored by Drink the Milgy. But if you know Drink the Milgy, go drink the milgy. I'm heading over to my TAB. I'm pulling it up on my app so then I can stay in the screen, because often when I turn to my to my PC over the side, I get out of frame. So let's find out, where are my bets. So my bets for the week, I've got a head-to-head, and then I have a power ranking, or not power ranking, but power bets. So my head-to-heads, I've gone Bulldogs, Broncos, Knights, Sharks, Cowboys, Panthers, Storms, Dolphins. $10, paying out 181. And then my other one, this one's probably never going to hit in a billion years, but we've got lowest scoring team, Parramatta Eels. Should have went the Warriors. But I also remembered, yeah, I should have went the Warriors. Yeah. If you're going to do one of these, go the Warriors. I got Gold Coast Titans versus Newcastle Knights being the lowest scoring game. I just don't see too much attack there, either side. Highest scoring game, Tigers and Dolphins. And then the highest scoring team, I've got the Dolphins. I put $10 on that, and it's paying out $3,500. Yeah, but it's got to dip after the Eels game. They're not going to be the lowest scoring team. It's going to be the Warriors. Yeah, well, both of them.
One?
I did both.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've just gone with one. $10 bet head-to-head, pretty much based off my prediction. So this $10 bet is, we have my Bulldogs, Broncos, the Knights. I've gone with the Roosters, Cowboys, Penrith. I have gone with the Eels and Dolphins. So that $10 bet has an estimated return of little over $400.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. All right. That's all that Parramatta game.
Yeah, I wish I might cash out and then redo it. Well, I don't think Parramatta will be. Wow, frick, they might. Can I cash out? No, I can't cash out that other one. Damn, I wish I could cash out the other one and then I could redo it and put the Warriors lowest scoring team. I reckon everything else would hit. I reckon Gold Coast Titans and the Newcastle Knights be the lowest scoring game. And then the Tigers and Dolphins, I think that'll be the highest scoring game. And then I think the Dolphins will be the highest scoring team. But I think the Warriors will be the lowest scoring team. Let me just chuck that in, and I'll see what comes up for you guys, highest scoring game.
Wow.
Where is it? Tigers Dolphins. It's paying $5.40. Let's add that to bet slip. Add that to bet slip. Then we'll go highest scoring team. We're going Dolphins. Add that to bet slip. Then we're going lowest scoring game. No, not lowest scoring. Yes, it was that, wasn't it? It was the Knights and Titans. Lowest scoring team, Warriors. Yes, there we go. Oh, try score a bingo. All jerseys 1 to 7.
Not the try scorer.
All jerseys 1 to 7 score a try across Saturday's game. So fullback, winger, 6, a 5. You don't reckon?
No.
True, because Hines is the only true 7 at the moment, eh?
I think if it was over the whole weekend.
Oh, across Saturday's games. Yeah, like over the whole weekend.
Yeah, Friday to Sunday. Yeah, I could see it. I just did a quick one. I just flipped all my bets, or I just went with the underdog for each game. That $10 bet returns just under 130,000.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm like, man, is that not a $10 bet but a $1 bet? We'll get just under 13,000. That's a car.
That is a car.
And I could do with a car. That's yeah.
So,
but again, it has to hit. Where the $10 bet for the favorites is what, $1.08 or 180.
But that's the bets. That's the lineup for the week. Looking ahead to next Tuesday, 2 probably won't be with us on that show, but we have a special guest replacement. That isn't Vincent, unfortunately. He's also too busy. We've got Tidal Rawiri, who is a huge Melbourne Storm fan, so we'll have him come on the show and share some love over the week. So look forward to that, E Te Whānau. I know it'd be hard to fill the shoes of 2, but it's got to be done, The show goes on.
We'll be fine,
the show goes on. And it just means that you guys don't have to just listen to me for like 30, 40 minutes. But until then, that's it from me. Thank you all so much for listening, and we appreciate your support from around the world. Until next time, remember to drink the milky and throw it over to 2 to wrap us up.
Bro, you had it. That was a great ending. You could have finished it then. But no, yes, I don't think I'll be on next Tuesday. Just got a big celebration on Saturday where most of my focus will be. But as always, we want to thank those who are supporting us, both near and far. We really do love it. And anyone else who wants to join, you're more than welcome here at the practice run. We're building and we're getting there. We're kind of gotten into a bit of a flow now. The content will get better eventually. Trust me. All right, we're still learning, or I'm still learning anyway. But but we'll just keep it short and simple. See everyone. Well, I'll see you when I see you, and you will see Rawiri and the bro on Tuesday. Until then, be safe. Make sure to reach out to a friend, especially if they're on your mind. Whānau, remember to reach out. But until then, see when I see you. Chur to the chur, mā te wā.